From Cornwall to Birmingham and Johnston and Bexhill, here's Ruben Spire on the radio.
Hello to Eileen Motok. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you, Ruben?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for having me chat to you today. So, can you tell me, how have you been a singer-songwriter for?
How long?
Yeah.
I started in 1993, and I was about maybe 22, 23 years old at that time. So it's been a while.
So, what was it like going into I'm presuming you went to a recording studio when you first started.
How did I start?
Yeah, did you go into a recording studio when you first started?
When I first started, I started wanting to write lyrics. I was getting inspired. I started writing poetry and lyrics, and I was thinking to myself, I have to find somebody to sing this music. Like I want to write music. It just kind of got into my head, and I started writing a lot. But I didn't ever think about myself performing or singing or writing my own songs. I just thought maybe somebody else would come and say, "Oh, that's a great poem. I'm going to make a song out of it." But shortly after that, I met a guitarist, and his name was Aaron Bond, and he was looking for a female singer to join in a local band at that time. It was called the High Life, and that was in Columbus, Ohio, USA. And I just started from there. I had never thought about being in a band or writing music. I mean, I was in choir when I was in middle school, but it never had crossed my mind. But everything just kind of coalesced. Like I started writing poetry, I met Aaron, and then all of a sudden I was in a local band and writing music, and it was the best, most fun I've ever had. So it just got under my skin, and I just have never quit.
So,
Um,
yeah, carry on.
we did go into a recording studio in both 1999 and 2001. I released 2 albums independently. The first one is called Gotta Be, and the second one is called Universal Themes.
So, can you tell me more about your debut album called Gotta Be?
Tell you about it, you said?
Yeah.
It was I had been working with Aaron and Daniel. I decided I wanted to make an album. I I just figured out how to do it. I found an engineer. I worked and saved money. I remember I spent about $5,000 on that first album, and it was a big deal. You know, it was in 1999, so it was quite a bit of money to put into the studio time, and then also I got hard copies made. And I remember getting them. In my mind, you just made the music, and then people loved you. I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't even know that was a thing. I mean, I was really naive. I was in my 20s, and I just thought you just make music and then all kinds of great things happen. I always thought that I would be like famous or semi-famous and like go really far with it. It didn't really go like that, and then I ended up, having a family. Um, but it was quite an experience. I love that album. That title track from Gotta Be is one of my favorite songs that I've written.
So, can you tell me more about the album called Universal Themes?
Universal Themes. I and we had made that first album, and we got some new players, and we were playing out quite a bit locally in Columbus. And I was like, well, we have more material. I want to get back into the studio. I used the same studio engineer. His name was Chris Seifert. I think he's in California now. But we just, got together and did it. It's if I could do it over again, I probably would do it a little bit differently. There's some sloppiness on a couple sloppy moments on both albums that I would have cleaned up, but hindsight is 2020, as they say.
So, why did you decide to come back in 2024?
What is it like to come back?
Yeah.
Well, what I've learned since then is that there is a huge body of knowledge about music marketing. And now that the internet is so prevalent, I believe that it's a little bit easier when you release music to get it to the right people. It's still a huge ocean of music and listeners. And I certainly haven't dialed it in perfectly, but I took a course. I don't know if you remember this artist named Leah, and then she created a very expensive music marketing course based around her success. I took that course 2 or 3 years ago. There was a woman there named Megan who worked there, and then she started her own thing called Aspiring Musician Studio. And I work with her one-on-one, just like we are right now, to do Facebook ads, Instagram ads, marketing strategy, posting. A lot of it is just about posting content regularly to keep people interested, as you probably know. So I'm just trying to as an independent artist become like my best marketer. And it's a challenge because that's like you're like, I don't want to market myself, but I'm getting more and more used to it. Like it doesn't feel it feels authentic to promote my own music. It's my music. I want people to listen to it. I want it to be successful. So I'm going to try to learn everything I can about this because nobody else is going to help me, Nobody else is going to market my music for me. Although you are here helping me by giving me a platform, but otherwise I have to do all the work myself.
So, could you more about, I guess your debut single called Take It From Me?
Well, Take It From Me, like I said, I started writing Take It From Me in late August of 2022. My family went through some tragedy. My nephew committed suicide, and it was very tragic. And it was real heavy on my mind at that time. It had happened in July. It was late August. And I wanted to write something for him. Like I wanted to honor him. And I don't know if you've ever experienced suicide, but it's real tragic. It's real difficult. Like it's hard to process it. So I think that's another reason why this song took so long. Even though it's not really about him, it's about my own mental health issues, and it's about healing. And my family, we needed some healing. So for me, this song is like an active prayer for healing from childhood trauma, which I think my nephew also had. I don't think he would have taken his own life if he wasn't also really suffering. And I wanted to write music that would be helpful to other human beings, so that's where this song came from. It's like a heavier song. The subject matter is fairly heavy. It's a slow song. It's kind of a sad song. I mean, it makes people cry. It's not like a danceable, fun song. It's a pretty heavy song. But like it had an effect on me, and I know other people listening, it's had an effect on them, and I hope it's going to be like a good song for people.
So are we going to be working on any new music in the near future?
Yeah, my next song is totally different. I consider myself a rock artist as an umbrella. Like Take It From Me, I would consider like soft rock. It's like a piano ballad. This next song that's coming out is called Mallory, and it's a pop punk song. Um, I really like pop punk. It's one of my favorite genres, like from the 90s and 2000s. So it's kind of reminiscent of like Blink 182 or stuff like that. I try to keep up my chops like in a local band, and in 2023 I was in a local band called Mixtape, and we did primarily pop punk and rock from the 90s and 2000s. I had a blast doing that. I didn't know how much I liked that music. Um, and I've had a really good time writing in that genre. I think it's pretty fun. It's easy. It's pretty easy. It's like pretty formulaic. Um, I'm this next song I'm very excited about. It's called Mallory, and the lyrics are about like a girl feeling a little bit intimidated by another girl, and like how she acts, how she dresses, stuff like that. It's pretty light subject matter, and it's pretty fun. So I'm looking forward to that one.
So have you got any thoughts about doing another album or an EP?
Another full-length album. I do, but I it's just so expensive. It's probably more cost effective for me to do singles right now. I'm hoping that I get some momentum and some feedback and maybe a little bit of money coming in where I can use that for recording. If that happens, heck yeah, I'll be making an album. And it'll probably be a country album, to tell you the truth. I like to write in different genres. I don't really like to be stuck in one genre.
Country is getting very popular in the UK, so yeah, country album sounds good.
Yeah. I have quite a few country songs. I spent some time as a solo artist because I was fed up with feeling like that I had to rely on a band. So I learned like enough guitar for like 3 chords, and I wrote a bunch of country songs. So eventually I hope to get those recorded as well.
So can you tell me what's it like being an independent artist for you?
It's like you start and stop. I mean, I don't have a band that I can just play with whenever. I mean, I could put one together really easily, but keeping a band together, I think, is challenging. And I don't really need one for what I'm trying to do because I have some really great musicians, really highly trained people that I can hire, and they're really not that expensive, and they understand what I'm doing, and it's just easy to work with those folks. I hope to be performing eventually because I love performing, and I think I'm a dynamic performer and I'm really good at it. So being a recording artist and being in a band that's playing out are two totally different things. I'm hoping it all just comes together and I can be performing and recording a lot more. But it's hit and miss, you know. You don't always have time or money to do what you really want to do, or the people might not be available. But I have plenty of material, and if the interest happens, then I will be performing in support of these releases. Right now, not so much. Although I do, my current performing outlet is I'm in a duo with my husband. We do rock and country, and we're performing Saturday night. So I consider those two different things. Being a recording artist and being in a local band, it's like two different things. But it's all music. I love it all.
So finally, can you tell me, listeners, where can you find you on your social media?
Where can you find me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm on Facebook, which you should have the link. It's Eileen Motok Music or something like that. I'm on Instagram, Eileen_Motok. I like for people to listen and purchase my music from my Bandcamp site, although, of course, not everybody's going to do that. But you can find all my releases on Spotify, everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, anywhere you listen to music. If you search my name, you should be able to find those releases. Where else am I on social media? Mainly Facebook and Instagram right now. I don't have a TikTok account yet.
Thanks you for letting me chat to you today.
Oh, you're so welcome. I really appreciate you having me on.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
I'm sorry?
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You enjoy the rest of your day, Ruben. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.